Happy review of Great Game Day. Today we're looking at IO, originally developed by Kinetic Design and brought out by Firebird in 1987. I have a lot of good memories of this one. I originally got it off an issue of Commodore format. Like, it's tended to be the case for a lot of later era games. Well, a lot of games in the later era of my C64 owning. And I used to play a lot of this one, particularly as sort of a ritual when I was doing my final years of high school and would sort of before I got to do my work in the mornings, like on the weekends, I'd fire up, and I used to get pretty far in. It's a bit of a short game. There's only 4 levels. Means it's a single load, which is always handy. The Caltech version used to use the CF loaders really fast. So I'll dive in. You can sort of see the track notes, some nice music playing, nice art style. You can sort of see you've got 1 or 2 players. It's not simultaneous. You take turns, old school style. There isn't really much of a plot to it. It's basically a case you just fight your way through the 4 levels and complete the game. So we'll dive in. Get your nice little launch mode. I love this just to start a stage, being launched off the large ship. Pretty much standard joystick controls. Now those initially smart bombs, you just leave them untouched. But you shoot them, you'll get more firepower, and eventually you can get orbs, which act as sort of options in other shooters, and also act as sort of shielding. That if you collect orbs, you'll be able to you can absorb a couple of extra hits. So you can sort of see the basic idea is you just fly through, survive, avoid, and not get killed. You can see how the power-ups sort of work. And you can see it's pretty darn tough. And then when you come in, you sort of pass the restart point, so you don't get the fancy drop animation. This game is tough. One of the things that I would say I don't like about it is the fact that you basically have to play perfectly, which I'm not doing. But I think this is the second stage artwork. I haven't played this in a long time, so I'm definitely rusty. But the idea is, you can sort of, if you die and get to that checkpoint like I was doing, you can kind of rearm yourself and sort of play through. But on later stages, if you die, you pretty much won't survive. It's one thing I don't like. But I like the metallic style here feels really good on the 64 for the color choices and limitations. Controls are nice and responsive. I haven't realised I'm actually running this off the 64 itself instead of emulating it, so I do apologise if there's a bit of quality or it doesn't feel as smooth as it used to be. So but I have a lot of good memories of this one just for being fairly good pick up and play. Like, I just love that even compared to other, it's not going to beat the likes of Armalite. You can sort of see there's nowhere near as many sprites being thrown around on screen, but it's scrolling smoothly. Controls are responsive for a little bit of inertia. You don't have to worry as much about the power ups. But I'm being pretty rubbish. But the thing is, sitting here just diving back early in the morning, actually recording this, I'm just remembering what I like about this game. I just remember that it controls well, it challenges, you can move left or right to pick. This is the 3rd stage. I used to, as I said, I used to be able to put a lot of time into this, and I used to be able to get to that 3rd stage and I'd never be able to survive that. I remember back in the day, someone posted a sort of I guess you call a strategy guide to one of the Commodore user groups, on news groups, and it was sort of like, sit down. I used the smart bomb there. So by default, that pickup, if you grab it and it's not armed, it's the smart bomb. And then you shoot it 4 times, it'll turn into the pickup, and that'll be initially weapons power-ups, then the orbs. I'm hoping I can last long enough to actually get the orbs, because I like the way they orbit the ship. They don't move in a trail like you'd expect in Nemesis, Gradius, or Salamander. They sort of orbit you, and it looks kind of cool. I did hesitate for doing this one for a while, just because it's obvious how rubbish I am at it. I would like to try and get further in this first stage. Let's see. So using, instead of classic guitarist, I'm using my trusty Go command control here, so that might be a downer. One more. I think we'll go for one more. That's not a good start. But I still love that drop animation. Can't remember any shooters on the C64 sort of doing that kind of thing to introduce the level. And I mean, once you get halfway through, or to the later checkpoints, you don't have that. Instead, you have the more conventional, just fly from the side. But I do believe it happens. I do believe on subsequent levels you will see it. Oh, that's disgraceful. Alright, let's go for one more. See if I can actually show you. I mean, obviously I'm not going to get to level 2, regretfully, but I'm going to try and at least do a little. I want to do a little better. Yeah, I'd love to be able to say, crack 10,000. Then I could use this as a score entry. Okay. I don't know if it's me, but I feel, playing this now, I do feel that this first stage feels a little R-Type-esque in its design. I might not be the only one, but I don't think this, got subjected to the threats that Catechus did, where it was off the shelves for looking a little bit closer. I think having an art style that's kind of like it isn't quite the same. So yeah, as I said, I really do the graphics. The audio, some nice music to start with on the attract mode. In game, there's just spot sound effects, and they sound they're kind of not like traditional shmup sound effects. So I think it actually adds a bit to it, which I always like. I always like when a game does something like slightly more unique in its presentation. This does it well. Bubblers. Well, 16170. I don't think we can get any better than that for now. So all in all, I dig IO for just being really well put together. Put together well. It's it's all compact and single load. It's very smooth. It's nice smooth scrolling. No flicker. You wouldn't have seen any flicker or slowdown while I was playing. And that's always a win for a lot of games for me. That presentation, it shows why the 64 was better than a lot of its 8-bit contemporaries. And all in all, it's a fun but challenging shooter. It is a memory test shooter. Like, when you play those waves enough and remember how they all fit together, you will survive. And that's how I used to get as far as I did. Obviously, being quite a long time since I last played it, I've got to put a lot of play to get anywhere near as good as I used to be, although there are people who are obviously way better at this than me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping you have enjoyed the review of Great Game Day. If you're on a site, on the review of greatgameday.com site, you can see there'll be a bunch of other cool games that people put up. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for subscribing. As usual, like, subscribe. I know this one's a little out of band for the regular formula. As usual, I throw games up on Thursday. Thanks again for watching.